And away.
Okay. Supermarine Walrus, designed by R.J. Mitchell, who also designed the Spitfire, though there's not the faintest resemblance. But it served in the 30s and in through the war, I think, initially as a spotter for battleships and that kind of thing. Catapult launched, and gradually got used for other things as it became sort of faintly obsolescent. But I'm making this one as an air sea rescue version, flown from Devon to rescue downed pilots in the Channel. I've bought Walrus kits before, Airfix. Never managed to complete them because they are ferociously complicated. The Airfix one, as I recall, every single strut was a separate piece, which makes it damn near impossible. I never did finish it. This one is better engineered, so sets of struts come as one piece, which is helpful. Like all four, this is the engine nacelle. All four of these are one piece. It just slots into the back of the nacelle.
You want to hold that up so people can see it?
Yeah, right there.
Nearer the camera.
There we are. That's the engine nacelle. But these four are all one piece, all slotted into the back. And I started this months ago, if not 12 and more, and came to a halt because it is complex, to say the least. One of the complications is that the undersurfaces, no, hang on, the upper surfaces, that is...
No, can't see you. Oh, you're putting it
Well, I've got to put it together first.
Okay.
It's a biplane, for one thing. I've built very few biplanes. The other one I've got is a swordfish. But that's the lower wing. And it may not show in the picture, but the camouflage scheme calls for... Well, the wheels aren't glued on thoroughly yet. They're just held in place. And during the war, because it was a biplane, you have dark slate grey, which is actually greenish, and extra dark sea grey as a camouflage pattern on the top, and on the top of the fuselage down the sides a bit. But they called for the lower surfaces to be lighter versions of the same colour. Now there is a set I managed to buy that provides that. It doesn't look that much lighter.
No, it doesn't look like anything from over here because you're looking down on it.
Yes, well, you've got your camera a long way away. I doubt that shows up very much.
It shows up quite well, but...
Does it?
Yeah. We were facing at you, not down.
But
so.
the idea was that the shadow from the upper wing, which would make it stand out more, would be counteracted by lighter colours underneath. That was the theory. So, anyway... what I've decided to do with this one, which I've never really done before, is complete a lot of the work, the paintwork and the camouflage and the transfers before I put it together. Because having got it all camouflaged, there's going to be a lot of handling involved. And I've got to put rigging in to make it look correct. Biplanes always came with rigging. The one I've done before, the swordfish, came with a etched metal set specifically for it, which made it somewhat easier. This doesn't. It gives you drawings of where they go. It doesn't actually provide you with much more help than that. There, all the red bits, the red lines are rigging you've got to put in. So what I found was this stuff, which is specifically for making ring. It's elastic,
What's it called,
line.
just in case we couldn't read it?
Fine 148 scale aero black rigging. I don't know what that means. I mean, up to that point, I'd started that is done with fishing line. You may not be able to see there's more to go on the top surface, but that will help because I haven't got to get that particularly taut. I've just got to arrange it so that I can get the elastic to stretch and make it look taut, which I'm still to work out. But what I've got so far is camouflage scheme applied, markings applied, transfers, and I put a coat of satin varnish, which helps the markings, the transfers settle. Decals, they're called in America. I still stick with calling them transfers. And it helps them conform to the surface. And you use a setter, this one, which helps it adhere more, and a softer, once you've got it on the surface, the softer softens the transfer so it settles far more into the detail. That's the idea. But what I anticipate is that as I actually start putting it together, there'll be an awful lot of handling. So I wanted to get a good layer of protective satin varnish over the top in order to make sure that the paint stays there. It doesn't rub off under my fingers because I'm picking it up so much. So that's where it's getting to. I'm still figuring out how to do the sequence, but I've got the engine in one piece, well, two pieces. There's the engine nacelle. I don't know what's actually in the nacelle. It must be oil tanks and whatever. There's the engine, air-cooled engine, which the air-cooled engine was mounted on struts between the wings, pushing to push a propeller rather than a tractor propeller system. And what I'm hoping is, because that set of struts is set, and this one just mounts on top, that'll give me the clearance to put in the other struts. There's two more, the jury struts too. And I've got to mount these wing floats, go underneath here for water landings, because even though I didn't say it, it was an amphibious aircraft. So it could land in the channel, pick up pilots and fly back to base and land on the wheels. Apparently it handled remarkably well in the water. So yes, work in progress. There will be further progress to come, but many more struts to do, and I've got to paint. Oh, it's coming off again. Got to paint the cockpit. There's a separate cockpit. This cockpit is a closed one. I'm using it just for masking, really. There's another cockpit set which has the top window slid back to leave it open at the top like a sunroof, and an opening side window, which I thought would just rather than it just sat there.
And do you have any excuses for being so long between vlogs?
Well, you know, life and things. It was just, you know, the complexities of the rigging and the colour scheme sort of rather just defeated me. I built other things in the meantime, but I sort of resolved to come back to this and get on with it finally. Try and get it finished. I want to finish the Walrus at some point. It's just a nice looking machine. It looks prehistoric. I mean, the nose even looks faintly like an alligator to me. It's just a wonderfully antiquated looking machine, which actually worked rather well, apparently.
So what did you get for Christmas?
I got got myself a new airbrush,
Looks just like the old brush.
It does to the uninitiated, but it does work better. And a Ukrainian company, ICM, a kit of a Martin Marauder.
You're going to show the audience or just hold your hands like that?
I'll have to delve into the cupboard.
Uh-oh. That's okay.
Depends
They're
if
not
they wanna
looking
hang
at the
around.
cupboard. They're not. Oh, they are focused a bit on the cupboard. Open it carefully so nobody can see.
If I can find it.
You
Oh,
can't
there it is.
be that far in.
There, Martin Marauder put together, apparently it's a D-Day commemoration thing. I've got a photograph somewhere I've had seen since I was a kid of this actual aeroplane, because it's got this ferocious teeth markings in it, which comes supplied. So I'm quite looking forward to that. Bare metal finish, which is always a challenge. Got to paint different panels a slightly different shade of silvery steel and aluminium, and so that'll be fun. And I got,
What more?
yeah.
Because you need more kits.
Oh, I do. The Spitfire conversion. To the uninitiated, there are many different versions of Spitfires: Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 5, Mark 9, Mark 12, Mark 14. The big split becomes when they change from Merlin engines to Griffon engines. Still Rolls-Royce, but a bigger engine and quicker. Nobody has produced, no company has produced a decent Mark 14 model. Apart from Airfix, who've done the bubble canopy conversion, very, very late war. I wanted one with the, what would you call it, razor blade, the raised rear fuselage. But some companies produced a conversion set. So you buy one of these, which is an Airfix Mark 8, Rolls-Royce engine, used mostly, I think, in Burma and the Far East. But this other company, what are they called? Laminar Flow.
Sent you a cardboard box.
Sent me a cardboard box. This, when you're building a Spitfire, you cut chunks of it off and use what this company supplies, which is actually 3D printed.
Oh.
Fascinating. Resin. And to replace. So this contains the Griffon engine cowling, which is bigger. So having cut the Merlin panels off this Mark 8, I can put the Mark 14 on and ditto with the tail. So yeah, that's what we got for Christmas.
That was quite a good Christmas for you then, wasn't it?
It was.
What'd you get for Halloween?
What's Halloween?
End of October.
Yeah.
Just before Halloween you got something new.
Did I? Oh, an E. Not resin printed. I don't think.
Not 3D printed. Wouldn't
No,
have been.
no, forged out of surgical steel or something. Yeah, new knee. I've had a year bookended by knee replacement.
End of October last year.
October
Or the year before
23
last. Then,
to October 24.
Yeah.
Knee operations. I'm getting used to it.
yeah, it's just as well. But you don't need to get used to it because you haven't got any other knees.
True, just
So
as well.
There we go.
I say that to doctors and they say, well, you've still got hips. And I go, my hips don't seem to be a problem, it's my knees.
Okay.
The difficulty is knowing how much better I'm going to get. You know, knowing what normal is I don't know anymore because, you know, I do exercise the leg every time. I use my exercise bicycle, I use squats and things. And I don't know what I'm aiming for because I'm not that far off 80. I don't even know what 80 means, but I don't know how much better I'm going to get. Maybe this is it. You know, I'm walk all right, a bit slow, but you know, maybe that's it. So, however, there you go.
Right, so that's
And
it.
Happy New Year to all of us.
Oh yeah, Happy New
Despite
Year.
the impending, what's the phrase I'm starting to use?
You're going to say, despite the impending
No,
lack of daylight.
the impending lack of daylight.
We're not going to go political.
Oh, aren't we? No. Thank heavens.
All right, I've stopped you. Thanks for watching.
Yes. Anybody watching? Hope I haven't bored you too much.